If you don't have 100% confidence within yourself at all times, then that means something's probably missing. I know for the longest time, I tried to build my confidence up with trying to obtain a great physique and getting as strong as I possibly can, getting as fast as I possibly can, as lean as I possibly can. I always try to build my confidence up by building and doing more and trying to accomplish more things. But the more that I accomplished, the stronger that I got, the leaner that I got, the confidence never actually increased. And it was it was only until like recently that I realized, it was only because I was only building half of the equation. I've only been focusing on half the equation when it comes to building your confidence. You see, this video I'm going to explain everything that I think it takes to actually build your confidence and inner happiness, because I think inner happiness and confidence kind of go hand in hand. But yeah, something's missing. Something's missing. The two things that is required to build confidence, at least I think, in my opinion, is two things. Number one is going to be, are you capable? Do you have actual proof that you are that guy, that you are that person, which is the equation, which is the part of the equation that I focused on for so long, trying to get lean, build, handsome, get a haircut, like everything I did was trying to like have that proof that I am that person. I'm disciplined, I'm ambitious, I'm always chasing new goals. So it's like that proof is there. And all over my Instagram, you can see how disciplined I am and how ambitious I am, because I actually am. I am. But the other part of the puzzle is finding that inner happiness, that inner confidence, because like I was saying, I tried to build my confidence, but it was never actually fully there. Like, let's say I won a few natural bodybuilding shows. When I would win these shows, these natural bodybuilding shows, I would feel confident for maybe a few hours, or if someone gave me a good compliment, like, damn, bro, your physique looks great, I'd feel confident for maybe 10 minutes. But then after that, my confidence would just decrease down, Or let's say I got humbled by somebody, or somebody they started making fun of me or something. It was like my confidence just shot the fuck down. Like I almost forgot of all the things that I have accomplished when it comes to my ambitions and how disciplined I am and, everything that I've got, my physique. But when I got like one bad remark about myself, my confidence just fucking plummeted. It literally would plummet, and then I would go the whole day feeling like shit. And part of the reason, and I'm going to get to the inner happiness part and building confidence from within, but I want you guys to hear my part of the story, just so you can see how much I struggled with this, because I think a lot of people struggle with this as well. They're so ambitious and they have a lot of insecurities about themselves and self-doubt and limiting beliefs. At least that was me. I had a lot of self-doubt, limiting beliefs, and insecurities from the reasons where it came. I had all these things come up as a child, I think, kind of pushed me towards that direction. I always felt weak. I always wanted to become stronger, so I did so, and I did do those things. But when I got this physique, I still never brought me that confidence I was looking for. So what I'm saying is, a lot of insecurities is the reason that pushed me and drove me so hard to accomplish these things, because I thought if I could just outwork these insecurities and accomplish all these goals, the insecurities would go away and I would finally have that inner confidence. If the insecurities went away, if I worked so hard to make the insecurities go away, I would finally find that confidence I've been looking for, that confidence to go out to any girl and say what's up, get her number, not be scared of going to talk to her, not be scared of going to meet new people, not be scared of sometimes, even my own family. I would hesitate, I would be hesitant and have a lot of self-doubt, and I wasn't being truly myself, and I could fucking feel it. And it was like I put up a front of some person that wasn't actually me, to try to like abide by their own personality. So it's kind of like I was trying to, I had this problem where I would change my personality between different friend groups and different people, and I was never always myself, because I was trying to please all these different people, because I had a lot of insecurities about myself. So I was never myself, is what I'm trying to say. And that was a problem. It's a huge problem. Huge problem. And again, I had this physique, I had all these accomplishments, but I still didn't have that true confidence that I was looking for. I didn't know, I didn't feel like I didn't know if I was shaking someone's hand right, or if I was saying the right words to people. Like, my confidence was never there. It was never fucking there. So, and that plays into so many different aspects. I feel like that limits your success. It doesn't matter how hard you work and how hard you try to run away from these insecurities. I'm talking about myself. It acts as a glass ceiling and limits your success. And it's like I can view my goal. I know where I'm headed, and I have the ambition and discipline to get there. Like, I have this inner fire to get there, to fucking get there. I have it. But that glass ceiling, those limiting beliefs, that self-doubt, that lack of actual true confidence that comes from within, acts as a glass ceiling so I can see through the glass and see my goal. But it stops me. It stops me from actually seeing success. Because, like, imagine, I have all this discipline to go chase these things, but I don't know, like, maybe I need to meet this specific person because I know it's going to drive success towards me and my career and stuff. But I have the ambition to go and get there, and even though I'm scared and nervous, I will push past it and get there. That's that discipline and ambition that comes from within. I don't fucking care if I'm scared. I've always been scared. I know how to push past that. But since I have that self-doubt and self-confidence, I mess up the opportunity. I'm not myself. He looks at me weird. He can tell that I'm not being myself. It's crazy, but, it limits my success. So me figuring this out and me finally understanding that it doesn't matter how many things I try to accomplish, I'm never going to build that success. I'm never going to build that actual confidence. It was actually until I actually focused on my inner self. I would always I would literally ask questions to myself at nighttime. I'd be like, why am I not confident? Why am I struggling so hard to be confident? Why can't I act like myself? If I'm going to the gym, why do I feel nervous going to check in? And if I'm checking into the gym correctly, or if I'm meeting this person, why do I struggle with that so much? It was every single fucking day for years, guys. Fucking years. 5, 6, I don't know, my whole life, basically. Feels like my whole life, basically, I've been struggling with this. And I finally figured it out. I've only been focusing on one aspect of my confidence. My physique, building my confidence. That's like me building my confidence, but it was like I was trying to prove my confidence was there. That's what it feels like, proof. But the thing I was missing is that conviction. I'm capable of doing these things, but where is the conviction? Where is the confidence? Where's that inner confidence? The confidence from within. That was missing the whole time. So it was only until I started actually asking questions to myself, what the fuck is wrong with me, that I finally cracked the code. I finally figured it out. I am so scared of someone else's approval. I am so scared of almost being myself in a way, because I feel like I had this high self-image that I had to upkeep with, and that was never actually me. So, when you're trying to be someone else and you're trying to get approval from other people to see if they like that someone else, it just fucks you up. You never build that confidence. So once I started actually truly being myself and talking about the things that I talk about, which is, a lot of it is discipline, being ambitious, chasing your goals. Like, that's really all the fuck I care about, really. I stopped laughing at jokes that don't actually make me laugh. I started becoming my authentic self. Everything that I want to get from life, I actually started pursuing. I started becoming myself. I started laughing at jokes that I actually found funny. I started doing the things that I want to do. I started not talking to the people that I don't actually want to talk with, so I don't put up with too much of it no more. Like, I'll be nice and not be rude, and I'll talk to them for a little bit, but some people I just don't want to talk to. So I'm not giving up my time anymore. I am doing everything that I want to do at that specific time. I am being my authentic self all the time now. And it's only when I learned, and I'm still learning this, I still have my times where I fuck up and, I revert back to that other person and, trying to be like someone I'm not. I still do that. That still happens because this is still a learning thing for me. This is new for me. But, now at least I feel so much more grounded in who I am as a person. And now I can feel that actual confidence coming up. And now that I'm feeling that side of the confidence, it makes sense now. Like, that was what was missing all this time. And, a lot of that self-doubt and limiting beliefs and insecurities are starting to go away. And, I feel like that's only going to help me 10 times more when it comes to building my own success. So Confidence takes two things. As cheesy as it sounds, because I think this is so cheesy. I was actually explaining on my Instagram this specific thing that we're talking about right now. It sounds so cheesy, but it's true what they say. You will never find happiness until you find it from within yourself. And that's so fucking cheesy. That's so fucking lame. To me at least. But it's true. It is fucking true. Like, and now it's like I feel like I understand how people can have complete confidence within themselves and not have a great physique. Like, don't get me wrong, I think having a great physique and having a capable physique where you're strong, fast, is important because, like, you get to take care of your family, you can protect your family. If someone, I don't know, is trying to steal your car and your baby's in it, you can get to the car on time because you're fast enough. Or, let's say an earthquake happens and some big piece of fucking metal lands on your wife or girlfriend or family member, you being able to carry that and get that off of them is important. Like, being capable and having a great physique, it does help. Being capable is more, probably more important, but having a great physique helps too. But I know now how people can be so confident within themselves and not have a great physique. You see, I never understood that because I was never actually confident within myself. Now I'm starting to understand why that is. But it's crazy because, like, that inner confidence, I would say, is like what? Maybe like probably like 95% of like feeling inner happiness and confident with everything that you're doing. But I also think having a great physique is important. Like, you trying to get all the things that you want from in life is also important. Like, from a kid, I always knew that I wanted to be to accomplish a lot of things. Like, I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to have high status. I wanted to have a not high following. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to have a crazy physique. And whatever drove that, it might have been my insecurities from way back then. Maybe I felt just so weak that, like, that's what pushed me towards something like that and having success because I chased approval from everybody else. Whatever it was. I always wanted those dreams as a kid, and I still want to achieve those things because I feel like, that's all I fucking care about. Like, that is all I care about. I care about, becoming as wealthy as I possibly can, becoming a leader, having so much influence over people who are also struggling. I want that as well, and to have a great physique and be capable. Like, I want all of that stuff, but it's crazy. Because that's not how you get actual confidence. It comes from within yourself. Like I've been saying, like the 10 million times I've already said it. But that stuff, the get rich, be a leader, have a great physique, I would say is like the 5%, the cherry on top. Let's say your inner confidence and who you are as a person, that's like the full cake. Like, people appreciate you, that you are yourself, you are your authentic self. They love you, they like you, not like it fucking matters because, you are so grounded with yourself, you can care less. But that's just like the cherry on top. Like, yes, you have all this inner confidence. You have this confidence because everybody struggles with confidence. Most people struggle with confidence. So many people are struggling with confidence. That's the reason they're in the gym and trying to get better because they struggle with confidence. But that is just the cherry on top. You guys will figure out, at least I think so, when you get a better physique, that it doesn't really change much. Now, maybe I'm different because I've always had a great physique. Like, I've worked out since I was super, super little. So I've never known what it's been like to go from like super fat to have a crazy physique. And that kind of confidence change, maybe that can be more of a percentage of, building more confidence. Maybe it's like 30% or something like that. But I don't know. I truly wouldn't know. But I've seen a lot of fat loss stories, and they say they're still not confident with themselves when they actually do lose like 200, 300 pounds. Now they want to build muscle. Now they want to get leaner. So they're not actually confident with yourself. So I couldn't tell you that part, but I'm just speaking from my experience. Yeah. But I also think, I also do think you need both sometimes, because I think there are going to be times where you're not 100% confident with yourself, and you just, for some reason, you flatline, like, and your confidence goes to shit. And I think having those accomplishments of things that you have accomplished and done throughout your life, get rich, be a leader, maybe it's high status, maybe it's having the greatest physique, maybe it's accomplishing, whatever it is, having those accomplishments, I feel like also gives you that proof that you need, that you are that person to remind you sometimes, like, damn, I did do those things and I am this, and this because I did do that physically. And it just reminds you, yeah, boom, you are that person. Like, for example, I've built this great physique. So sometimes when my confidence goes to shit, because I'm not perfect at this yet, at having that full, complete groundedness in myself, sometimes it falls off. Sometimes I tend to revert back to my discipline and my work ethic. I say, damn, I have proof that I am disciplined and I have work ethic, and that gives myself some kind of value that I can allow myself to be confident because I did do those things. I did build this great physique. I was disciplined. All these things. Sometimes I think about, because I've made $10,000 in a month. I've made $50,000 in a month before. So sometimes relying back on those things, those accomplishments, like, damn, I am him. I'm that person. Just to remind you, just really quick, it's like a plan B, like a backup plan to, rebooting your confidence levels. So I feel like those accomplishments are important for that specific reason. And yeah. But I mean, it's still, when you're chasing these different things, I think it's important to have goals and ambitions to make you a better person, because trying to get to a new goal and it takes you to be uncomfortable and you're learning all these new skills, you're becoming a better version of yourself. So not only, let's say you have that inner confidence, not only do you have the inner confidence, but you're developing skills and developing more and more skills, and you're becoming a better and better and better person. And I think that's also important. I think that's really important. Yes, you need confidence, that inner confidence from yourself. I think that's half the equation. And like I was saying, the other half of the equation is being capable. Like, you have to be capable, but you have to be confident. Like, let's say you're this asshole, right? You're this asshole that has complete confidence. Let's say you get a bunch of girls because, confident. It doesn't really matter what kind of physique you have, whatever. It's all about the confidence. It's all about the confidence. Maybe the physique gets you the initial attraction, but the confidence stays it there. It keeps it there, So let's say, this confident asshole, you're some skinny guy, you're funny, you're skinny, and you're confident within yourself. But let's say you go out with some girl and some guy is really testing you, and let's say he took her bag. He took her bag, and she kind of looks to you, and she's like, what are you going to do about it? And you kind of just sit there, and now you're kind of like shitting yourself because you do not have the capabilities to catch up to that guy, or like even just like have some kind of advantage over him physically because, he'll fuck you up or something like that. So I think that's important. So like your confidence drops from that, and it damages you a little bit. You might be able to rebuild it back up because it comes from within, but it damages you a little bit. But now she looks at you like you're a fucking phony. You act all confident, but when it comes down to the real situation, you are a fucking phony because you aren't strong, you aren't fast, you don't have that capable physique. You know what I'm saying? Or like, let's say like you're at a beach and you are that skinny guy and you're looking at fucking, I don't know, Tyrone, and he's all fucking shredded, he looks good, he has clear skin, and you eat like shit and you have a pimple face and, a pimple face, I don't fucking know. You just look like shit, but you still have confidence, so that's why the girl's with you. But now she notices the other guy, and you kind of know that she does notice the other guy. And let's say he also has that inner confidence, he's just better. At the end of the day, he's just better. And I think it does come down to competition. I think there is that I know that there's that competition between men. When you walk into a room, there is that underlying sense between all the men that they are kind of like in competition. They're seeing who you are as a person. Did you just become the alpha, or are you like one of the betas in the group? Like that's real. That is a real thing. So it's kind of like you need to be capable. You need to have all these ambitions and goals, and I think you also have to have that inner peace, that inner happiness, that inner confidence. And I think when you have both of those things together, in your discipline, your ambition, you're chasing goals, you're developing your skills, you have that inner confidence, that's how you reach success within yourself. And that's what I was also going to mention, is that I feel like I'm still not truly happy yet. Like right now, especially right now, I am 100% grounded right now. I am confident. I feel like the fucking man right now. Because of that inner confidence. But I'm not happy. I can tell you that. I'm not happy at all. And I think it's because I have such high standards for myself and all the accomplishments that I want to accomplish. I want to be a leader. I want to have that status. I want to influence other people. I want to help the world. I want to get rich. I want to, be the ultimate fucking physique. Be strong, fast, lean, shredded, handsome. I want it fucking all. And because I don't have it all, I don't feel happy. But I don't think that that's a bad thing either. You guys, I don't think that's a bad thing either. I don't think you have to be happy all the time. I actually think the kind of emotion you're supposed to be at is more of a neutral kind of thing. You don't have to be sad all the time. You don't have to be happy all the time. You need to be neutral. That's what I believe in. I think being satisfied in life is more important than being happy. Like satisfied, meaning when you reach your goals, and you're like, shit, I did that. I feel satisfied. I don't feel stressed no more. I did it. I fucking did it. And you get that little surge of happiness, which feels great. Get happy. You're fucking ecstatic. But then you go back down, but you're also satisfied that you actually accomplished that goal. And think about it like this. If you were always happy, there would be no joy in that. There'd be no joy, true joy in feeling happiness all the time. I think in order to actually feel happy and truly feel happy, you need to feel those negative emotions to give yourself some kind of insight of what happiness actually does feel like. So I think you do need to be negative in a negative state. I think you do need to have self-doubt sometimes. I think you do need to have, insecurities and not have that inner confidence, because once you actually do get it, then you actually understand, holy shit, I know what it feels like to be so fucking low, but now I'm up here, And I think happiness, you shouldn't feel that all the time. You shouldn't feel that all the time. And a lot of people do a lot of drugs to try to feel happiness all the time. But look at most people who do a lot of drugs. A lot of them aren't successful. A lot of them aren't. There's some people who are successful and they're doing a bunch of party drugs and they're rich and, whatever. But I don't think they're actually happy. I think they're missing something as well. The people who are doing a bunch of fucking drugs, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't tell you that part. That part I couldn't tell you. I don't fucking know. But it's kind of like, why do you feel the need to take all those drugs all the time? I don't know. That's my thing. But what I'm saying is, like, being happy all the time, I don't think is a good thing. Definitely don't. But I've talked enough on this. Hopefully that makes sense. Basically, what I was saying is that I think it takes two different sides of the equation to build true inner confidence and happiness, and that's finding it from within, but also being capable and actually being that man, but also believing that you are that man. And when those two combine, I think you can accomplish anything in this fucking world. And I think you feel the fucking greatest. One last thing before I let you guys go. If you guys want to learn how I actually started to find that inner happiness in true groundedness and true confidence with myself, just put it in the comments below, because I know they didn't actually go in detail about that. But yeah.